many of us over the course of time end up forgetting the value of all the privileges and the rights that we were born with and continue to have day in and day out, due to the fact that it ends up becoming commonplace and you just kind of grow to expect it. But then you end up getting to read or hear about various stories of people all over the world that aren't as fortunate and don't have the same luxuries that you do. Well, this is one of those said stories, and I just found it to be absolutely amazing. Just hearing about it in general and reading about it, it not only brought a smile to my face, but it was one of those things I'm like, holy hell, that right there, that's something I want to applaud in general. And the individual's name that this story is all based around right now, I was listening to the podcast for it, his name is Muhammad Osman Ali. Now, he's over in Uganda, and in Uganda he's actually a refugee, and he kind of set up a shop there, and this shop, so that he can actually turn a profit, is kind of like a variety store, and he's basically taking anything and everything that he can find around him and try to turn it into something. So that he's found tons of electronics and all sorts of tech, and has opened it up and just basically was trying to figure out exactly how this works, was finding ways to go and fix it, and one of those said things was a PlayStation 2. And he's used this PlayStation 2, keep in mind that it was in a completely non-functioning order, and obviously he had absolutely, you know, no prior knowledge of the inner workings of a PlayStation 2, but was over the course of time able to figure out how to get this thing up and running, like Frankenstein the shit out of it, and used a flash drive to get it working, and now has set up kind of like an arcade. And keep in mind that people over there don't exactly have video game systems like you or I do. Like, I have an entire fucking wall that I'm talking in front of, and I worked my ass off over a long course of time to be able to have such a thing, but I can go to a store and buy something, I can go online and buy something, I can even bust out my phone, order something, and expect it here within 2 days. Whereas they're not exactly able to go and have such a thing happen. So it's interesting to note that this man has actually created something that everybody can go and enjoy, and he himself can actually see that it's, you know, a viable business. And it's all based around a PlayStation 2. And I found it to be absolutely amazing. And again, it made me just appreciate a ton of things that I have. I mean, I can go to flea markets, I can go to stores, I can go online and be able to get this stuff. And this man had to go and jerry-rig the thing back together and got it up and running. Now, the arcade kind of works like this. He basically charges people, you know, every 10 minutes to be able to go and play. And it might sound kind of silly. So a lot of people right now will just be like, oh man, charging to go and play something like that. But I mean, it really just kind of take a couple steps back and think about the situation. That there are no game consoles, there are no games and forms of entertainment essentially within like the world of electronics and stuff, and the world of tech isn't exactly something that they stumble across much at all, ever. So something like this is pretty damn amazing. And I actually, when I messaged the guys that did this podcast on Facebook, I'm hoping that they get back to me, because I want to find out if there was some kind of address or anything that I could go and donate some stuff to. Like, I have extra systems. I'll even go out and buy some extra fucking games. I don't care. Just to go and give to this man, because that's something right there, it blew my mind hearing about it, and I thought it was an amazing story. So hopefully here's something, and if you want to hear like the entire story in detail, which is very much worth listening to, down in the description I'll put the actual link to the article itself, and there's a little play button. You basically just play it and you go and listen to the entire story, and you also get to hear Muhammad himself on there, which I'm just like, that's fucking cool as hell, you know? So it's a positive story. I'm just hoping that maybe, you know, might be able to do something in return. Like, I found it to be, like, really cool, but I want to be able to do more. Like, he's got a PlayStation 2. Shit, I can go get you, like, a fully functioning PlayStation 2 that's, like, up and running and good to go. Or I'll give you a PlayStation 1 or Sega Genesis or a stack of fucking games. And I know plenty of other people out there would be cool with something like that, because we've got duplicates, we've got extras, we know damn well that there's places we can go to and get shit on the cheap for $1 a pop. And, you know, mail it out there, by all fucking means, I don't mind something like that. So hopefully, crossing fingers and hoping for a response back from them about that. And I don't know if they have direct ties to this guy, or, you know, if this was just something that they happened to stumble across and then got to know him and did this interview. So basically, we'll see. Anyway, opinions, thoughts, feelings, stuff like that. I think it was a really cool story, and stuff like this, it needs to be brought to light more often. We always got, like, tons of negative stories or just, you know, dumb bullshit like that, but this is kind of stuff that I genuinely enjoy hearing about. A dude found a completely broken-ass PlayStation 2 in a country that doesn't have stuff like that, turned it into a fully functioning PlayStation 2. Granted, it looks like, you know, it got the shit beaten out of it, but it's up and running, and now it's made a semi-mini arcade out of it that people are now enjoying. That's fucking awesome. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Anyway, this is Alpha Omega Sin. As always, nerds, nerdettes, and gamers. Game the fuck on.